What's up, YouTubers? Okay, so I have a big favor for you. First, I need you to drop a like. Second, go subscribe to my channel. Third thing is go ring that bell if you don't want to miss a video that I post. So do all those three things if you have the time, which is right now. But anyway, welcome back to ReviewTube. My name is Jordan Harris, and last review I did was on Doctor Strange. So if you have not seen that video, please watch it and enjoy the magic. And like I said, I'm not going to post a video on Monday. I'm going to do it now on the weekend because that gives me more time and I get to have fun because weekends are the funnest things, are the fun things on every week. So make sure you get to remind yourself to go see my videos on the weekend. But anyway, today I'm reviewing another Marvel movie, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is another good Marvel movie. And I would have to say this is really good because this first one I had a hard time getting the plot of the movie, but this one it makes a lot more sense and you get to love these characters even more and understand how their lives are different. But before I get to the review, I'm going to shout out to Disney Plus for their streaming content with Disney classics, including and Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, and all their updates that they're coming up with this November. And I just heard about they're going to have a Lego Star Wars Christmas special coming out on November 27th. And I also heard about The Mandalorian season 2 is already out, and every week they're going to come out with an episode. A few days ago, I got to see the second episode of season 2. So if you have not seen season 2 of The Mandalorian, go watch it now. Or if you have not seen The Mandalorian at all, go watch it because it is the highest grossing TV show on Disney Plus. And here's one more thing. Since I'm reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, there's going to be some major spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie, stop watching this video. And if you have Disney Plus, go watch it on Disney Plus. I highly recommend this movie because it's super good. But if you already seen this movie and you want to see it again and again and again, then go on Disney Plus because that will never lose because Marvel is always going to be part of Disney. Well, I hope. But mostly, I'm happy to do this review. So let's blast off into this great movie that's pretty better than the first one, in my opinion. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And it starts off with the Guardians fighting an evil worm monster. And we have a little cute scene, which is young baby Groot. Aww. And he was dancing around while the other characters were fighting. It was super adorable and funny. Until it gets a little gross when the guts from the worm monster was shredded apart, and yeah, it almost made me throw up. But there's one scene where they were talking to these people that are made of gold. So are they trying to be like the Oscar trophy or something? I have no idea. But these gold-looking Oscar trophies were talking to Star-Lord and the other Guardians, and they revealed Nebula, Gamora's half-sister, and it was a family reunion. And the Guardians take her in to the ship. And another thing happened was Rocket stole some of the batteries, and that's what made some of the people go find the Guardians and take their ship down. And when they crash landed, they find a man who is super powerful named Ego, and next to him is and we have Mantis, who is always there for him, and she is an empathetic character who and when she touches people, she can know how they feel. And Ego, on the other hand, he is just this guy who is super powerful and he's creative and has his own planet. So that makes Gamora, Star-Lord, Mantis, and Drax go all the way to the planet, go all the way to Ego's planet, and for Rocket and Groot, they're with Nebula. And then we go over to a scene where we get to see Yondu, the Ravagers' leader, and most of the Ravagers turn against Yondu. And I forgot what happened, but they turn on him. Yeah, it hurts. A lot of people turn on you if you don't want to hang out with them, even during the harsh time happening right now, the coronavirus. Really sucks. But then we get to see Yondu fix up the Ravagers and starts taking leadership again. But then he is defeated by Nebula, and the Ravagers turn down on Yondu again. And they replaced Yondu with Taserface, and Rocket was making fun of his face because his name was Taserface, and his face looked like he was tasered. It was super funny, and I enjoyed seeing Rocket just joke around and act all funny and sarcastic. That's one of the characters that I enjoy liking. The other characters are pretty good, but for Rocket, he is one funny character. You just have to just say, man, you are just one of the characters that I would love to relate with. That I'm funny, I'm a little bit sarcastic, and I'm pretty tough. So don't mess with me, because I will take you down and also have some annoying jokes that can make you defeated. So that's one way I like Rocket. But another thing is, we get to see Star-Lord interact with Ego because they're father and son. And I didn't know this from the movie. And for one thing, they talk about his mother, and how even though Star-Lord's mother was gone, Ego still loved her. And it was pretty. And he taught Star-Lord different ways to cope with the mind. And when you think of coping with the mind, you might think of Star Wars because of, knowing the Force and using your mind and trying to concentrate. That's a Star Wars reference to Guardians of, using your mind and trying to concentrate. That was one thing that they showed in Volume 2 that made a lot of sense, that connected with Star Wars. But then we get back to it. Yondu and Rocket try to find a way to break out of prison where the Ravagers turned against Yondu. And it was up to Baby Groot to finding Yondu's Mohawk arrow. Yeah, the Mohawk arrow, that thing where he whistles and then that arrow can go around and also follow Yondu wherever he goes. Now that is a pretty cool weapon. So forget about the vibranium, forget about the hammer, forget about the bow and arrow, forget about Iron Man's suit. We have a new weapon. But it's still, I would have to give my money on maybe a shield, because that protects you. But enough about weapons. But anyway, they break out of prison and they try to find the other Guardians. Then we have Star-Lord talking to Ego again, and he starts seeing memories and different aspects about life. And one dark thing that it said was, Ego just blurted this out in front of Star-Lord. He told him that the main reason Star-Lord's mother died was because Ego put a tumor in her head. That is messed up. And then Star-Lord just wakes up and just goes angry and starts trying to defeat Ego, but Ego was so powerful and he had nothing else to do. But Star-Lord had his friends, and they had to defeat Ego. And they used detonators to blow up the planet Ego. And when Ego disappeared after defeating him, Yondu came to the rescue to save Star-Lord. But this was the biggest sad scene that almost made me cry. When he gave a Star-Lord a breathing apparatus in space, Yondu didn't even have one because they didn't have enough of breathing apparatus to shield him. And the saddest part was he didn't have enough time to he didn't breathe and was stuck in space with ice on his face and was frozen without wearing a helmet. And Yondu was dead. And I was almost going to cry because Yondu is one of my favorite Guardians characters, and I thought he might be in the Avengers Endgame and Infinity War because he would be really great in there, but I'm sad he died. And they did a funeral, and the Ravagers still had respect for Yondu when they stopped turning on Yondu and they find him as a leader, and they show respect by giving when they start a big ceremony after his death, and that made Star-Lord believe that there's a family in everyone's hearts, and Star-Lord is happy to have the Guardians, like for Rocket and Groot, because they're good best friends. For Gamora and Nebula, they're half sisters and they have a sibling rivalry, but still they love each other as sisters. And it's a really good movie to show how much you care for someone. And the most sad part was seeing Yondu die. Now, if he didn't die, he would be great still in the Avengers Endgame and the Avengers Infinity War movie. That would be great, and he would be funny in that. But I just don't know why they had to kill him off, because he's a really great character, but it's the director's choice. But anyway, that was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So make sure you go watch the movie if you have not seen it. And if you want to watch it again, go on Disney Plus if you have it. And it's a big movie to love. I mean, I like the first one. I like it, but still, for this particular movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this is really great, and I enjoyed it a lot. The next Marvel movie I will review is one of my good old favorites, Spider-Man Homecoming. That'll be next weekend that I will review. So make sure you remind yourself to go see my next video, Spider-Man Homecoming. This is Jordan Harris going off, and thank you for going on ReviewTube. I'm Jordan Harris, and I'll see you later. Peace out, my friends.